Alright, so we tackled the 454 again today. This is the very next day. I forgot to shoot some video about this because we were so busy running around, but to recap what we just did, touched up this, pulled the battery box out, and we sprayed this and tried to clean it up a bit, grinded the rust off so it looks a little bit better. Other parts turned out really good after drying. And then we also hit the frame, JL did, hit the frame, and touched up all the rust spots in there and try to clean it up as best we can without, you know, getting really serious into it. Got to replace this guy still in the starter, and we pulled off this cap, so now we can see through the oil sight glass again, which, there you go. Now you can see that the oil, which, yeah, it's in there somewhere. There it is. Now you can actually see it. So that was like completely dirty before. You couldn't even see anything out of that. Yes, sir. And then we also put a new K&N performance filter on it. So we're getting there. The only thing is we kind of screwed this up. Cap got warped because a couple of the threads kind of got a little chipped up in there, so it kind of messed with this.
The 40-year-old gasket did not want to cooperate.
Oh, that too, yeah. The gasket did not want to come off, but luckily I was able to get a screwdriver in there after I pulled all the bolts out, and just it popped off once I got it in there. And I might need to play with the clutch a bit because I don't know if I put this on right or not, but we'll see. So we got to buy a new one of these because this is just going to keep popping off because it won't thread. But that's like a cheap part, so we'll fix that. But we're looking good so far. So next would probably be the head gasket, I think, because I don't know, we really can't go anywhere else without it, because we did everything we could do right now, I think.
When you're leaking antifreeze in the engine, that's not a good day.
Thing.
So that's definitely got to be next on the docket.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next part then. All right, guys, so we're back with the 454 build, day number 3. So here's the head gasket. Well, I shouldn't say the head gasket. Here's the head stripped down. Just remove the tachometer cable, the 2 coils on either side, the thermostat, and all that's over here in this box here, chilling, so I don't lose anything. Over here, we have finally the parts from Babbitt's Kawasaki out of Michigan came in. So in this box we have just the odds and ends I need. This is the light bulb for the license plate light, head gasket, crankcase cover gasket, miscellaneous nuts and bolts and caps and stuff like that I bought that were missing. So that's good. That's this box. Over here, some more eBay parts. This is not eBay part. But we got some air filters. This is the starter solenoid. Still waiting on the starter motor to come in. Unfortunately, it got delayed in shipping. Here is the backrest, which will go like this. Fit right in there like that. So I just need to get the bolts ordered for it because the guy didn't have the bolts for it, which was kind of a bummer, but it's okay. Nothing Babbitt's Kawasaki can't fix. And I also got the throttle tube, but the throttle tube is kind of sucks because I can't use it because you can see that piece is cracked right there, meaning this throttle tube is useless. The grip, however, I could possibly still use the grip if I can get that throttle tube out of there. I tried attempting it earlier. Here's the cap or the other side, but I'm going to work on that a little bit later. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start, because my buddy Kyle is going to come by and he's going to help me strip this head down so we can see what's going on with it. So I'm going to start back here, go from the license plate bracket back. So we're going to start by changing the light bulb, which is why I bought this piece out, because here's the cap. So is this bulb here, as you can see, possibly, you can see that the filament's cracked in there. So the bulb's no good. That's why I wasn't lighting up. So that's where that green box comes in at over here. This is the light bulb in this box. So that bulb is going to go in there, and the cap's going to go back on. We're going to reinstall the rear fender guard. The mud guard's going to go back on now since it's been painted. It's over here. So it's been painted and it looks fantastic. I mean, obviously the underside you're not going to see it, so that's going to go back on. Working our way forward, we'll probably go to the battery box and reinstall that. Probably reinstall the new starter solenoid on the box. Here's the old one. Probably still works, but you can see it's just the terminals are corroded and it looks really nasty. So we're gonna pull all this out and we're gonna reattach the new one to it. Get the battery box put back in the bike, and then go probably attack the grips next. Probably gotta do the grips. Do the cables, so oil up the choke cable, oil up the throttle cables and the clutch cable to make sure they're working okay. Just killing some things until Kyle shows up because he's at work right now. So, all right, stay tuned. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but
You had that thing recording the whole time?
it was in my pocket recording. But so yeah, Eric's sitting here. We're trying to get we had to put the new starter motor in. So we're trying to get the gasket back on, which surprisingly I pulled the gasket off the motor and it was in one piece when it came off. So that's pretty impressive for being 30-something years old. We got the new motor in there. It kind of was a little getting it in there, but she's in there. And that's Mike driving away on his Honda Nighthawk. So we're gonna put the starter motor back in and reconnect all the carbs. Of course, it showed up after the fact I got the bike put back together. But yeah, as you can see though, since the last video I shot, you see it's almost all the plastics and stuff are reconnected. But we're gonna hopefully try the starter motor and hopefully it doesn't suck. So stay tuned in a bit. All right, so me and Eric got the starter in the bike and she's all back together. Now, she's still running really rough because I think the timing chain is still the problem, but as you can see, you hit the button. It's a little bit easier to start. It's not sitting there like trying to crank, and then start. It's just, you know, a little bit. Yeah, you can hear the tick, 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 tick. It's just, that's not good. So we got to have that looked at. That's also probably why the starter's struggling. But it sounds a lot better. So we'll see where it goes. We'll ride it a little bit at least. A little bit just to see what happens. So, all right.